Hey everybody, welcome back to G4G, and welcome back to a working goddamn GeForce experience. There's a lot of fixes out there right now for it. Basically the one that I did that actually worked and is gotten my GeForce experience going again is I deleted it and I reinstalled it using the exact same version that was there when I deleted it. But when I uninstalled it, I also made sure to delete the program directory, empty the recycle bin before I reinstalled it. A few things needed to be set up, mostly the games that I manually added, and a bunch of my logins. But, yeah, enough of that. So, let's talk about a few quick things in Marvel Strike Force over here. I've got a few topics that I want to take care of in this video. First, I wanted to go ahead and start with the offers currently in the game. And we have a 3-day offer over here for $35 for 2,000 of the Mega Orb shards. In other words, a Mega Orb. You can open it to receive 50 to 100 shards of a marquee character with no chance for minions. You're paying $35 for hopefully what is guaranteed a character. Now, if you look at the roster, you are going to have some characters that initially come in higher than your 25, 50, and everything like that. I mean, if it was Monstrosity, you'd have to get a 100 pull. You know, not Thanos or anything like that, but, you know, Scientist Supreme, Nobu, Thor, Doctor Strange, Vision. I mean, Vision's close to the 50 rank. Black Panther. You know, a lot of these guys are definitely at a 100 pull in order to even unlock them. And it's a money orb. I mean, it's kind of expensive. I think this one is a little overpriced. I'd like to see this one come down a bit. 25 seems a bit more fair, and at least here in the States you have Memorial Day coming up, which is, it says it ends in 3 days and 0 hours, so we'll say that this was midnight EST, 3 days, Saturday's 1 day, Sunday is 1 day, Monday. So it is kind of a Memorial Day sale, even though it's not saying it, but this one's maybe about $10, $15 overpriced. But, you know, if you're what is affectionately called a whale, I think this is a good one, especially to clear up a little bit of your roster. I mean, Black Widow is not available for post-beta players. Yondu is powerful. Wolverine, I mean, you're kind of getting just logging in and doing your dailies. So he's grindable. That might be Ultimus back over here. I mean, Punisher, God, you wouldn't want Punisher. Thor would be okay. I mean, getting Punisher orbs would kind of be a troll, but this chubby face guy, not, I don't know. Kind of looks like Balloon Ultimus over here. We have, for another 15 minutes, the gold sale. This one, I mean, I don't agree with these. I don't agree with gold orbs. I don't agree with gold. I find gold is not a particularly tough thing to do in this game. However, that could be because of being in the beta for so long and everything like that. Maybe if your gold resources are running low, this is not a particularly tough price over here. I mean, this is, what, a single dinner at Applebee's and an app or something? I mean, this isn't exactly date night, but, you know, it's a couple cups of Starbucks. The raid for Wade at $15, again, reasonable price, but raid materials, I just don't know if these are really purchasable. Now, if you have a very active alliance that is really running a lot of Deadpool raids, especially at Spicy and Enfuego levels, the 1500 chimichangas over here might be pretty decent. And again, it's just a swallowable price. And then for 2 days we have Snack Attack, which is $10 for raid and Blitz stuff. Yeah, I just don't think this one is necessary. So raid for Wade, and is consider, this is worth a consideration if you're in a raid and you're really pushing Deadpool. The gold sale probably would be good if you're like at 1,000,000 or 2,000,000 gold and you constantly dip to levels that make you feel uncomfortable. This might not be awful, but I would put this lower on the recommendation scale than the raid for Wade. But these are contextual. Like Deadpool, you have to be in alliance and you have to be pursuing him, and it have to be an active alliance that could get you Deadpool. Otherwise, it's a waste. Gold sale, its context is you're not somebody like me who's running at about 8 to 7 million gold. Mega Orb, I mean, let's just say it. It's for the whales. If you missed out on Captain America, again, beta, and Black Widow, beta, yeah, you could go for it, but I think $10 off of this makes it a little bit more swallowable, to be honest, over here. So the other thing that we've got going on right now is Blitz has moved over to cable shards. It had been Spider-Man. And if you want to go ahead and see the rewards, all the way down here at milestone 14, you get 5 of them, which means you'll have 5, 4, 3, 2. So you'll have those. I mean, it's a reasonable amount. And, Cable was pretty good, especially if he's teamed up with Deadpool. Oh, hey, Blitz Orb, cool. So the other things that I wanted to talk about is how to get about 10 Deadpool shards. So there is here in my Marvel Strike Force Alliance group, there's been a very, very big discussion, as you can see over here, about how to get this little bonus 10 Deadpool shards. And it all starts off with this link up here. Now, here is the best way to do this, and you'll see you get 10 Deadpools, some cores, some gold, and some raid stuff, and blitz stuff. The best way to get this is you want to use this link on the device that actually has your Marvel Strike Force. So, for example, if you have it on a phone or tablet, you want to open this link on either Facebook on that device, or copy and paste this link, mail it to yourself, provided you're mailing it to the client that you have on that tablet or phone. So example, earlier today, I took this link and I copied it into my work mail. I sent it to my Gmail. On my phone that has Marvel Strike Force, I went into Gmail, I clicked the link, it says, what do you want to open this with? Pick Marvel Strike Force. So it actually knows the link can be opened through Marvel Strike Force, and when I did that, that stuff appeared in my mailbox. Now, if you're running an emulator like some people like BlueStacks or whatever, just make sure your BlueStacks is capable of reading some mail that you have, and mail yourself the link or install the Facebook app and click it. All you need to do is get this link to a device that has Marvel Strike Force, and then you'll be able to do it. Like how on for the technologically illiterate, if you're sent an attachment or you click on something on a web that downloads like a PDF or a doc, and it'll say, okay, well, what do you want to open this with? And you maybe have like Microsoft Edge and Adobe Reader or Word or OpenOffice. It's the same concept. You have to tell your device, what do you want to do with the link? And because even though it looks like a web link, it's a little bit non-standard, so that's the best way to do this. You'll get 10 Deadpool shards, which will, get you a little bit closer to getting him take the heat off of having successful raids and everything. And I am sitting right now at 80 out of 100. I hopefully would like to get him, on like the miss on Thanos over there. Can you do it multiple times? I would presume not. I'm going to try it, but I'm going to presume there is a check on that. So the next thing that I wanted to do is very briefly talk about the 1.20 update for the tier list. The last video I did had the beginning of May list. This one is from Casino. Credit where credit is due. And by the way, Henry Lamarada is the one who posted this link over here in a Marvel Strike Force Alliance group, so credit to him for that. Also credit to him saying open the link on the mobile browser, not the face. So these are the people around here that started getting this working, and I believe the person for Android users, click on the link. So Sharon Redding is the one who mentioned it from the app, and there was Steve Lassell is the guy who said send myself the email. This is what I did, and it worked. So there's all the credit. So here from Casino, this is his 1.2.0 list that I released a few days ago that has changed a few things around from my last video with more appropriate highlights, really, is what we're talking about over here. So God tier, still Black Widow. Deadpool is added. The Deadpool justification comes from the fact that if you set things up right, kind of in the way that you play the mental chess with Gamora, your Deadpool can be used to finish off a squishy that is a high priority target, even if a tank gets in the way. He has that ability that says finish off the lowest health target regardless of taunts. And obviously he chews up minions. I mean, you get experience with Deadpool before you get him, so you can agree or disagree with the God tier even if you don't own him. Just doing his event kind of shows you what he's capable of. Captain America's up there, of course. Gamora, Kingpin, Quake, Yondu. Nothing changes too much in God tier except we added Deadpool. And I would say, again, it's another kind of context thing. If you're fighting minion teams, he's really going to be good. And this list is not broken down into PvP or raids or blitz or anything or defense. It's just a grand tier list. I would say he's definitely God tier in doing PvE work because of what he can do to minions. Demigod has given some highlights saying that they can improve one tier with the right team comp. I have a large discussion about crossbones in the previous video, and I do believe, and I want to state this for the record, I do believe he can walk this fine line of Demigod and God. The fact that he has the highlight means at least Casino agrees. If you build a team around Crossbones, his Allahu Akbar move is very deadly. Let's face it, it's very threatening to see. If you do not build a team around Crossbones, which people think Crossbones is an auto win, and they just put him in there naked like a jaybird, he's going to get his shit pushed in. Let's face it, he is a high priority target. You smack the crap out of him as soon as you can, then he taunts, which further means you're going to smack the crap out of him. If you have buff removers and everything, you're probably going to get rid of his counters, maybe even his taunt. I mean, he's always A1 number priority. He needs to be protected. Luke is not one of the right protectors for him. And, I mean, there's a highlight on him, bringing him from usable to demigod. You need a start of turn taunter with Drax, and then you maybe need a first turn taunter like Captain America, somebody who can protect him just a little bit. I think Drax should have that highlight, but maybe a half a highlight. I don't think he can approach God tier, but I think in the right synergies, he can help your demigods go into God tier. The rest of the highlights over here make sense. Hawkeye, we know, is very, very useful on offense because of his anti-Black Widow stealth punch and his buff removers. There's obviously an ongoing discussion right now. How much do we really know about Star-Lord and Ultron because we can't get to play them? The people have defended this by saying the game has been data mined. They've looked at their abilities. helps, but we don't know what the AI does, so please understand, when you see somebody who isn't released yet, these are judgments based on what data we can see, although some of them have been playable in missions, or you see them on defense like Mordo. So that's where a lot of this comes in over here. These are educated guesses. Because this is a universal list, this might not, you know, Star-Lord might not be a demigod for defense, because maybe the AI is ridiculously stupid with him. So he may drop a rank when he goes live, but this is kind of a prediction. And again, this is all Casino's opinion over here, but you know, there are other lists out there. We talked about them in the last video. And then usable, we'll only talk about the highlights. Hulk moves up into demigod. I think again he helps Crossbones because he gets in the way. If you did like a Hulk Captain America Crossbones, that's good protection. And then you may want maybe a good stealther like Black Widow, putting speed up for Hulk before he gets enraged. And maybe Quake doing a speed down. That seems like a decent team that can protect Crossbones until his blow up. Alternatively, instead of protect the Crossbones, you could go with just massive amounts of threat all over, like Iron Man's AoE, Rocket's AoE, Quake's AoE, Crossbones AoE. So there's ways of layering it. And to the discussion I was having in the previous video as to whether Crossbones is good or not, understand he's a key component of my B team. And I'm not saying ever that Crossbones is bad. I'm just saying that there are people who use him poorly. And that's why you see him so much. You have the smart people using him, and you have the idiots. We've got some hand minions over here. We know Hand Sork is pretty decent. Luke Cage saying he can go up a tier. Maybe. I mean, he is kind of tough to put down. It's just the AI is not that great with him. Night Nurse, of course, being God tier for raids, definitely. She is God tier for campaign missions that require escorts. And we can show you her really quick over here and discuss about why. Yeah, I know some people defend Jessica Jones, and she does have some decent abilities. As I've said, I've always hated Jessica Jones and her stuff. You have Extraction is really the biggest thing, is apply stealth to the lowest health ally for a turn, and then heal them. And where did my back button go? And, you know, you have Focus, which keeps her in it and everything. And Snapshot doing a slow and clearing a positive effect from the target, just like a taunt. So she can really, really help protect protect the president kind of a scenario. And Thanos, Vision, Thor, Red Skull. This is a little bit of a hard prediction, saying Red Skull can go up a tier with the right comp. That's an even harder prediction to make than some of these, without having actually seen him, but who knows. It's funny, a lot of these are villains. That Mordo is probably a villain Mordo, not a hero one, so I feel like a lot of the ones that haven't hit the game yet are villains, and I'm like, when are we going to get a real legit hero out of this, except for Star-Lord. So that's about it for the tier 1.2 list. And that kind of brings me to my next point over here, is that I want to say the last video that I did that had the May updated tier list, I just want to give everybody a thank you. It has a tremendous amount of views, and I really appreciate that, and it kind of reminds me of my MAA era when I was doing a lot of videos for Marvel Avengers Alliance consistently. I do appreciate the views very much, but since I'm not in a paid program right now for YouTube because of how I have the subs, but the views had dropped off since MAA had died, so they reworked their stuff in February. So I'm not making money off the video. It's the conversations that mean something to me. There have been a lot of good conversations in the comments there of, why is this person here, and this opinion that, and this opinion this. That's what I like. I like the discussion that has existed between myself and viewers, and from viewers to viewers going on in there. So I want to let you guys know I really appreciate everybody flocking to the previous video. The comments, I look, and kind of every day and a half it's going up by another 1,000 views. So totally appreciate that, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video. I mean, we did have stuff to talk about, and hopefully the way of getting that Deadpool link, which I will put in the description. The description will contain both this tier list and this link to get Deadpool shards over here. That's really what I wanted to talk about in this. I just really appreciate the views on the last video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it produced good information for you and everything. That is really my goal in these. I mean, and the very last thing that I wanted to talk about is, I'm sure all of you have heard the news about Total Biscuit. It's extremely sad. He was a great YouTube personality. I'm very, very saddened to hear, and I haven't seen this personally, but some people did the really shitty things of saying, well, you know, he was transphobic and stuff like that, and he was an asshole. I never ran into those things. I just think he's a large YouTube personality. I know a lot of people who are affected by this. To me, he is somebody who I definitely watched his videos at one point in time, although I've sort of fallen off with him lately. But Yahtzee and Total Biscuit I went to for fun information. In the Borderlands days, I really appreciated Yodi Slayer's videos, and we've lost him, unfortunately, too. So, if we could just have a moment of silence for Total Biscuit. Thanks, guys, for sharing that with me. I hope you were fans of TB like I was. I'm not one of those people who would call him an influence or anything like that on my videos, as mine do share some styles, you know, a little bit of the sarcasm and everything. But I was not doing as much reviews lately as he did, certainly back in the day when I covered a lot of games in beta. I did a lot of reviews and everything, but it's been different in recent years for me, where I tend to stick to the games that I play and stick with videos on that rather than searching for every beta out there and getting my hands on those. And they were sometimes fun videos and everything, but really, really sad to hear about this for Total Biscuit, and my thoughts go out to his family. We all knew he was sick with cancer, but I didn't know it had gotten to this point where he was in hospice care, and when you hear that word, that's certainly not, it's not a good word to hear. So, all the best for Total Biscuit's family, and the YouTube world has definitely lost one of its shining lights, unfortunately, with losing him. But hopefully we will continue to soldier on and find enjoyable videos over here and find decent personalities to gravitate to, not somebody who goes into a foreign country and shits in their fountain and is like, hey, this is entertainment. That's not entertainment. So thanks everybody for watching the video. I hate to end it on a depressing note, but it's certainly one that deserves acknowledgement. So take care, everybody. Feel free to comment away in the comment section below about what you think about the tier list. Let me know if the Deadpool link works out for you, if it's something you didn't know about and it was helpful. That's certainly my goal for this one. And yeah, see you later, everybody.